Let's move now to Uganda, that country today welcoming a group of Afghan refugees who fled the country in the wake of the Taliban takeover. This is part of a transit agreement with the United States to look after the evacuees before they get to the USA. Let's discuss this now with our correspondent in Kampala, Isabel Nakirya. Isabel, thank you so much for joining us. So just tell me a little bit more about these 51 Afghan refugees. They've arrived in Uganda. How does this in-transit arrangement work between Uganda and the USA?
Thank you, Sally. We are told by the Foreign Affairs Ministry that there was a conversation between Washington and Kampala to have the 2,000 refugees or Afghans brought to Uganda. And so during that conversation, Uganda agreed that to host the Afghans to Uganda. And we are told that the first 51 arrived today. There was maximum security at the airport, so we were not able to see them. But they arrived and they are settled in a luxury hotel in Entebbe near the airport. But also we know that Uganda has ratified a number of protocols that commits it to, agreeing to host or, protecting and assisting refugees. And so we know that already 1.4 million refugees are in Uganda. And so when this request came in, the country just agreed to host the Afghans as they stay here for a few weeks before they are taken to a third country.
All right, so it's 51 Afghans have arrived of an expected 2,000 that Uganda will host in transit. You say they're just going to be in Uganda for a few weeks. Do you have timeframes on when the other refugees are going to be arriving?
Again, a statement by the Foreign Affairs Ministry says, they'll be here between 2 weeks and about 3 months as the U.S. tries to screen them to know which particulars they have and who will be going to the U.S. or other countries. What we do not know is that when they fail these tests, what will the U.S. do with them? But we also know that they'll be staying in hotels here as the U.S. And Uganda talk about their stay here, and Uganda says that the U.S. will fund their stay here. All
right, and tell me, Isabel, what's been the reaction in Uganda to the arrival of the refugees? Have they been warmly welcomed, do you know?
There's been mixed reactions, but I think the concern here is that Uganda is already overwhelmed by the 1.4 million refugees, and it depends on donor funding to look after these refugees. Uganda cannot afford to wholly take care of the refugees. Many times the refugee agencies here have called on the international community to jump in and fund their stay here. And so people have been saying Uganda already has its plate full, and taking in more refugees from another country is just way too much. And so some of them were, of course, excited with social media awash with, the Afghans are coming and, they're so beautiful and all that. But the biggest concern here is that the country is already overwhelmed with the refugees already here.
Very quickly, is the USA paying for every item of their cost for the Afghans?
Yes, we are told that the U.S. will cater for everything here.
Okay.
They're already staying in very splash hotels, and of course, Uganda cannot afford that, so the U.S. will cater for that.